Donald Trump this weekend dismissing the latest Stop Trump wave, but Republican delegates from Colorado, at least, are launching their own Stop Trump. And they have a very different point of view. Joining me now, Regina Thompson, co-chair of Free the Delegates. And welcome. Thank you very much for being with us. Regina, the odds are against you, given the fact that he won a majority of the delegates. He won so many more votes. He eliminated 16 competitors. How do you justify a rebellion at the convention itself?
Well, we justify it because that's been the process of the Republican Party since its inception. That delegates at every convention other than 1976 had been available and free by the rules of the party and the convention itself to vote their conscience. And that's all we're advocating for, is the delegates be unbound to vote their conscience on the first ballot and every ballot after that. And if Mr. Trump is still the nominee, then that's the way it is. But that's all we're advocating for, is just the freedom and the delegates to take the right and responsibility that they already have to vote their conscience.
Now, the argument would be, how do you beat somebody with nobody? Do you have a candidate in mind to replace Mr. Trump at the top of the ticket?
No, we're absolutely not advocating for any specific candidate. The delegates will make that selection. If Mr. Trump does not garner the nomination on the first ballot, then we go on to see beyond that who, who's put into nomination, who rises to the top, and the delegates will make that decision.
Some people are seeing the people who are appointed to head the Rules Committee as some sort of signal from the RNC itself that they are behind you, because one is a former Congress member from Utah, not a big Trump fan, and the other, is Ron Kaufman, who comes from the Reagan, Bush, and Romney part of the party, even though he's endorsed Donald Trump. Do you have support in the Rules Committee to make any kind of change?
Well, that's what we're finding out now. There's two paths that this can take. There could be something coming out of the Rules Committee that would be proposed to the delegates at large to vote on, which could make it very clear that delegates have got a choice. Our contention is, first of all, the delegates already have that option, that they don't need a rule change. Although many of the delegates are feeling intimidated, their state parties are threatening them, other delegates, their, people around them. And so the conscience clause is being, introduced, to my understanding, through the Rules Committee, really so that these delegates have got that extra layer of comfort to be able to say, look, the Rules Committee has proposed this, the delegates have voted on it. Beyond that, we're just educating the delegates that they've got this option. If the Rules Committee presents us something to vote on, we will. If not, then between now and the convention, we educate the delegates as to the, option that's already available to them through the rules.
Now, two quick points. Do you have support outside the Colorado delegation? And are you in any way reassured by the firing of Corey Lewandowski today that perhaps the Trump campaign is going to change and is going to live up to the kind of candidacy you want to see?
Well, I've just barely heard the news reports about Mr. Lewandowski. It will remain to be seen who he's replaced him with and what their tactics will be. For those of us who are, principled conservatives, we personally are not going to be convinced that Mr. Trump is the right candidate. We oppose him on so many different issues, and it has nothing to do with his campaign style or whether he's got, campaign managers and a ground game. To us, that is not the issue. It's not who manages the campaign, it's who the candidate is. And so that's what we're going to be focused on. We're talking to delegates. We've absolutely got wide support across the country, or we wouldn't be doing this. If it was just a few voices, this wouldn't be going anywhere. But we're in contact with, pockets of delegates all across the country in almost every state that have contacted us, that have said, we're on board with you. How can we join your movement? We want to help you, talk to other delegates.
Regina Thompson, thanks so much. Very good to talk to you today. Thanks for being with us.
Thank you.
And